Most ADHD minds don't struggle with motivation. They actually struggle with self-perception. You're probably like me. When you're in front of a mirror, you're avoiding your own gaze. Sure, you're brushing your teeth, combing your hair, getting ready for the day, but you're not really seeing yourself. But what if standing in front of a mirror, using this simple household item, can be the one thing that will radically transform your relationship to yourself and how you experience the world? My name is Christopher Armstrong. I'm the headmaster of the Mutant Academy. And I designed the Mutant Academy to support other neurodivergent, brilliant minds in learning the techniques and tools that we didn't get taught in school. Because school taught us what to think, but not how to think. So stick with me today, and I'm going to show you how you can use this simple household mirror to massively transform your relationship with yourself and your relationship with the outside world, giving you the results and the life that you want. So why is it important for us neurodivergent minds to practice mirror work? Well, it's very simple. Our self-perception shapes our world. Our unconscious mind uses our image of ourselves, who we know ourselves to be, our default sense of identity, to filter out information. You see, there's 2 million bits of data coming into us at every single second through all of our senses. But our conscious mind only gets access to about 126 bits. But how your mind goes from 2 million to 126 is based on, among other things, your self-perception. So if you believe yourself to be somebody who's ugly and doesn't deserve to be loved, then you're never going to even see the person in the room when you're out there going on a date or looking for singles, because your mind will filter them out. Anybody who will match an identity that you don't embody, the identity of somebody who deserves love, the identity of somebody who deserves true lasting partnership, that person will be filtered out by your mind, because your mind's number one role is to keep you alive, and number two is to make sure that you are always right. It's also important for us to update our self-image, because most of us have been walking around our entire lives with a mask on, or maybe many masks. I used to work in the restaurant industry, and most of my career, I would approach a table, a cold approach. I didn't know who these people were, and I would stand in front of them, and I would introduce myself, and within just mere seconds, I could already sense that I was adjusting my personality, my tone, who I was representing myself to be based on who I thought they would want me to be, in order for me to give them the right experience and therefore put money in my pocket. I have been masking my entire life, but I am not the mask. Now, there are some masks that can be useful, but unconscious masking that we do as neurodivergent brilliant minds is preventing us from shining our bright light and showing up as the true and authentic self that we came here to be. Dealing with the shame that we've dealt with, being called lazy, unfocused, inconsistent, all of these labels that have been put on us, even being called ADHD, a disorder, creates a level of shame. That shame gets imprinted into our nervous system, into our very body. And then when we stand in front of the mirror and we avoid our gaze, it reinforces the neural network that tells us, that proves to us that we are somebody who deserves to feel shame, somebody who needs to be looked away from. And that is going to radically affect your relationships and the results that you get in every area of your life. So let's break down what mirror work really is. And I'm going to give you a simple technique that will help you to use this tool to radically update your own self-perception. So mirror work essentially is just standing or sitting in front of a mirror with intention and gazing upon yourself, catching yourself in the eyes, really looking deeply at yourself, and practicing compassion, practicing positive emotions, self-talk or positive affirmations. The idea is that you are standing in front of the mirror and creating a space with intention to update your self-image. See, most of us don't have friends or lovers or family that treat us with compassion and with deep respect. But the thing is, we've been externalizing, seeking validation outside of us, seeking permission to be who we are, instead of going straight to the source, to ourself. We need to be the one that gives us permission to be authentic. We need to be the one that celebrates us when we accomplish something that we're proud of. You see, most of us come from a background of complex trauma. Complex trauma being the slow burn of not having what our needs were being met over a long period of time. Our father not being present, or when he was present, he was volatile and unpredictable. Our mother having a difficulty with emotional intelligence and expression, being also unpredictable in her behavior. This creates a difficult relationship with our parents. And then we end up seeking validation, affirmation, and these emotions that we needed when we were a child outside of us later in life. But what we need to do is we need to bring them inside. And so with the mirror, we can start to do that with a simple intentional practice. We can speak to ourselves, we can validate ourselves, we can cheer ourselves on. And it feels silly. It feels stupid at times. But don't worry, the nice thing about a mirror is that it's something that every one of us has at home. It's an easy tool that you can use every single day. Confidence is a very important aspect, a very important piece of what we need to build as ADHD neurodivergent minds. Most of us lack confidence. Confidence is simply the self-trust that we're gonna do what we say we're gonna do, and we know that we're gonna do it well to the best of our ability every time that we show up. Confidence is what makes us show up in the world. Confidence helps us to come out of our shell so that we can actually shine our light and show people what we're made of, how capable and smart and powerful we really are. But confidence needs to start here. It doesn't come from that external validation. It comes from building it in yourself. There's actually neural networks, different neurons that fire together that create your own self-image. And we are going to do that today. We're going to change how our neural network is wired by changing the way that we speak to ourselves and experience ourselves in the mirror. I also want to talk about the importance of understanding RSD, rejection, sensitivity, dysphoria. This is the technical term to explain why it is that people with ADHD are so much more intensely affected by rejection. Our nervous system receives and experiences rejection with the volume turned way up, which is why over a lifetime, we have become so used to avoiding situations where we might feel rejected. And then this builds up over time, and it causes us to sense that guilt or that shame, even just when we're looking in a mirror. That's why it can be so hard for us to hold our own gaze, because the rejection we've experienced externally becomes internalized. So let's talk about how to do this. How are you actually going to apply this concept of mirror work? Simply get yourself a mirror. I like a nice big full body mirror because I can sit in front of it, I can stand in front of it, I can gaze myself in the eyes, I can also look at my body. I've had a lot of issues with body image dysphoria, these kinds of things. And it's helpful for me to reshape this with my whole body, not just with my eyes. But I'll get into that in a separate video in the future. What you're gonna do is you're gonna stand or sit comfortably in front of the mirror. I prefer to sit, especially if I'm sitting for a few more minutes, but you can stand, and you can even stack this on old habits that you already have, such as brushing your teeth and getting ready for the day. I want you to breathe, and I want you to feel your body or your feet on the ground. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to just meet your gaze, and you're going to look at yourself, and you're going to say your name. Say your full name, or however you like to be referred to. I see you, Darren Christopher Armstrong. And you can repeat this, saying I see you, acknowledging yourself, acknowledging your existence. I see you, Christopher Armstrong. I see you, Chris. Now, once you've repeated your name a few times, and you notice how it feels, it might feel a little tight, a little uncomfortable, a little silly. Just notice how it feels, pay attention to where it feels, and if it feels uncomfortable, you can breathe into those areas of your body and even place a hand on one of those areas to focus your energy and intention there. We're gonna really practice noticing what's happening and even naming what's happening. If I say my name in the mirror, I can say, Darren Christopher Armstrong, I see you. I feel a little bit of tightness in my throat. I can breathe into that. I notice it soften, and I can return. Once I feel more at peace in my body, I'm then going to hold my gaze. And I can even set a timer for just 60 seconds. Set it for as long as you like, but remember that consistency is more important than depth. Doing just 1 or 2 minutes a day is more important than doing this for 20 minutes. So set a timer, simple and short, and just look at yourself. And as you're doing this, notice what comes up. Most of the time, I notice a tendency to want to fix something. Maybe see my attention go to my beard or my hair or maybe a blemish, and then I start looking at something to fix instead of holding my gaze. So when that happens, just take a deep breath and come back. Our tendency is going to be to move away from this gaze. But the more that you hold still, the more that you're reprogramming your neural network. Now you can choose to add positive affirmations. I recommend things that are very simple. Perhaps writing a list. You can even put it on your mirror of things that you've done recently that you're proud of. Simple tasks that you've accomplished, certificates you've recently finished, some sort of celebration, something that you want to really acknowledge in your life, and you can celebrate that. For example, I recently just did a 40-meter deep dive scuba certification, and I got to be able to go deeper in the ocean than I've ever gone before, safely and successfully. So I could say something like, I see you, Darren Christopher Armstrong. Congratulations on going so deep into the ocean. I'm proud of you. You were consistent, you practiced it, and you overcame your fears. And I'm really proud of what you've accomplished. Now, once you finish, you can finish by placing a hand on your heart, taking a nice deep breath. You can say, I love you. You can say, thank you. You can say, I want to have a beautiful day. It is my intention to have a beautiful day. Finish up and then go about your day. I highly recommend that you stack this habit. Understanding Atomic Habits, James Clear's book, which is highly recommended. You can take an existing habit and then just stack this on top of it. So you're already brushing your teeth or combing your hair in the mirror. Just add an extra 60 seconds of meeting yourself in the mirror, practicing this very simply, and basically you're gonna hack your habits by using a habit that you're already doing and just making it a little bit longer, instead of having to create a whole another 20 or 30-minute ritual every day. Keep it simple. Remember, practice consistency, always consistency over depth. What if you could actually feel proud of yourself when you look at the mirror? What if you could radically update your self-image by just spending 1 minute a day with yourself in the mirror? Speaking positively to yourself, maybe even writing notes up on the mirror itself. What if these simple techniques are exactly what your brain, your nervous system needs to rewire that relationship, that unhealthy, self-hate driven relationship that you've built over a lifetime, so that you can finally live the life that you came here to live? If you're looking for more support and you want to get more training on how to upgrade your life as an ADHD, brilliant, neurodivergent mind, if you're ready to become the leader in your community and in your own life, then join us at the Mutant Academy. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel so that you can get more information as it comes out. And if you want to join the Academy, this is an elite group of people that are training to become the most effective ADHD entrepreneurs. Remember, we didn't come here to do this alone. That's why I created the Mutant Academy. And it has been designed to train and teach you all of these things that school never taught us. You are a mutant. You came here to be different, and you came here to help the world improve. And now you need to surround yourself with community so that you can get the training and the tools that you need in order to shine your true and most authentic self and activate your true superpowers. I'll see you inside the Academy.